Hello 4Ks, this is day 43 of me playing chess every day until I reach the rapid rating of 2500. So here we go. We have the white pieces once again. I will play pawn to e4. I'm playing against a pretty lower rated opponent. And we get the Alekhine defense. So now e5, of course the pawn was attacked. Knight to d5 and c4 is the best move. I mean, you can play d4 and then c4. So yes, we retranspose kind of. d6 and now you take this pawn. This is the best move. Takes with the e pawn is considered okay. Now knight c3. I don't know a lot of theory here. Bishop e7, okay. Now bishop to e3, I believe. Castles, maybe bishop d3, maybe rook c1. Let me think for a second. Bishop d3 looks the best. I'm just stopping this bishop to develop to f5. Rook to e8, and now probably knight e2 or knight f3. I guess knight e2 is the best, because he's kind of threatening here. Although knight f3, bishop g4, castles. Not that bad of a position. So let's just play knight f3, bishop g4 will be played. Yes, correctly. Now just castles. Bishop here perhaps. Maybe even b3, rook c1 at some moment will be played. We will see, of course, how the game will develop. Knight c6, okay, kind of putting some pressure here, which is quite logical. I don't want to see knight b4, so probably a3 is the best move. Stopping knight b4 ideas here. So yes, just a3. Stopping this bishop here doesn't really threaten anything, because if takes, I simply take here and I take on h7 and then pick up this piece on d4. Trading the pawns, actually not winning a pawn, but I mean his king will be just much open, more open than mine. So we'll see, probably something like queen d7 or h6 or bishop h5. Even taking here is possibility. Bishop f6, I guess, is the best move. Bishop f6 and then maybe something like bishop to c2. Defending this pawn, trying to play queen d3. At which point, after bishop c2, probably bishop to h5 will be played. And then rook e1, rook c1, maybe b4, threatening some c5 ideas here. So yes, this is a very nice position for white, especially computers like the white positions here. But I mean, it is playable for black most definitely. And yes, if bishop c2, then this pawn is kinda weak here. But I guess queen d3 would pick up a piece due to this fork on this checkmate, or on this king especially, and on this pawn here. On this knight, excuse me. So that's something maybe that I'm looking forward to. Bishop f6 here, and after takes. Oh, you push with d5. I know this is a common idea, but it kind of allows me to play c5 and b4 real quickly. And where is your knight going? Here, but to f6 perhaps. But if here and here, this pawn is simply hanging. So you need to go here, but then here, I mean, I cannot take the pawn, but where is your knight going? It cannot go here. I will play b4, bishop c2 here. So just c5 here will be probably played, and now I just pick up the pawn. That's probably what my opponent have missed here, and I think my position is already much better. Perhaps even winning by the computer evaluation. Or maybe there is something I completely missed. Something like bishop takes, which is perhaps a possibility, which of course I wasn't really calculating. Takes, I mean d4. I mean, I can always take knight takes and bishop takes on h7. Oh, you go to c4 actually. That's something I missed as well. You go to c4. I must say, I don't believe in your plan here. First of all, I can even take and play something like d5. Knight here doesn't quite work for me. The pawn is hanging. What about just queen c2? Knight takes, f takes, I mean, this rook opens up. I'm attacking here. h3 here and g5, I mean g4 here. The rook opens up, so this is really important. Queen c2. There is also something like bishop to b1, maybe bishop c2, perhaps a better move. But bishop, I mean here, I guess there is queen b1, knight here and pick up the pawn. And I don't really like that, so queen c2 will be my move. My move of choice probably. I mean I can take though, but queen e2 there. This pawn is not hanging, so how are you gonna defend the... So let's calculate once again. Bishop takes, pawn takes, and queen e2. Bishop e6 back. Rook d1 should be just much better for me. So why should we... I think this is just much better. Queen e2 here. Yes. Let's just take. I don't see a defense for my opponent. I mean, these double pawns are really weird here. Perhaps even queen a4. Even queen a4 comes to my mind here. Because after here there is bishop f4. Takes. Here. Here. Rook takes. I mean, doesn't work because I go here. Oh, but it does work. So I go to g4. I sack the knight. If you take, there is checkmate. So queen e2, yes. My move. I mean, knight takes just loses. Queen takes, knight takes, bishop takes on e2. I can just take back. I should be up a piece at that moment, but... Oh, bishop f6 is his move. What about takes? Takes. Oh, I lose the pawn. Oh, but do I? There is a pin, so... Perhaps I mean, this pawn is also hanging on f3 when knight takes. So... Why don't I start with the rook d1 and then there is still nothing? Takes, knight takes. Win anywhere wins. So rook d1, here. And simply something like queen to f4. Queen g4 probably better move. Should be fine. So rook d1. I am down on clock pretty much for 3 minutes. So I need to speed up a little bit. Time is not a problem yet, but it might very well be in a few moments. So now it's getting quite tricky. I'm now probably threatening to take on c4. Bishop e6 I don't think is a move. After d5 we just resign. So something else will need to be played. Bishop takes, I mean, I could potentially take with g-pawn, but better is probably to take with the queen after bishop takes on f3. If... What the hell is this move? Knight takes on d4. I don't think it works though. Excuse me. I don't think it works. I have the move Queen e1 here, which threatens knight. I mean, does it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It threatens. So Queen e1 threatens the knight. If knight takes f3 check, g takes on f3, I'm attacking the queen, I'm attacking the bishop. There is no check at that moment, so just Queen e1. Knight takes will be played. And I don't think he calculated that one correctly, because now I'm threatening here. Although, oh, he takes like this. Wait, what the? I'm just lost here? Takes, of course. Oh, but yes, I'm lost. Rook takes, bishop takes, g takes. I should be down on exchange, but okay, I need to do that. Rook takes on d4, my only move. And then I pick up the bishop. And I am down on exchange and a pawn, so that's not pretty good. Is there anything else? No, just g takes on f3. Very, very bad position. I completely misplayed it. Now bishop takes on c3 is a possibility. And then something like queen here. But I have some counterplay. Perhaps, I mean, takes here is the best move, most definitely. There is also the move queen to e7, which I of course missed. But there was nothing there, so knight takes, I mean, excuse me, knight d4 after knight d5 after queen e7. You play queen d7. I go back. I guess you have improved your position, but nothing major. Queen e7 probably the move of my opponent's choice, but we'll see. If of course bishop takes, then simply queen takes, rook takes, and rook takes is game over for me. Being 2 exchanges down is just too much. And of course, yes, just bishop takes, pawn takes. Look at this pawn structure here. And of course, a rook against a knight. Oh, you can even take like this, of course. I'm still pinned, of course, which is just insane to look at it, but okay. So, how to generate as much counterplay as we possibly can. There is a move knight e4, bishop takes, queen takes, and there is f5. And I can just resign that. So simply here probably. Knight e4. This is still pretty much losing. But knight e4, let's play it. The move. Probably when rook takes works. Because my opponent is simply up 2 pawns at this moment. He has 7 pawns right here. I have only 5 pawns, so. And he's also an exchange up for this knight, so this is completely losing position for me. But what can I do? Nothing, probably. Simply bishop takes, pawn takes. I cannot take with the queen due to this pin once again. And of course we'll analyze the game afterwards, but this is just a short game because I played very badly. I missed everything, every tactic that can be missed down D and E file was just missed by me, so there is still some hope. F takes, F5 kind of weakening up the position, but then even F4 is a possibility due to this pin. Oh my goodness, but then I get the knight back to E4 and maybe my queen can get involved with this rook. Perhaps. We'll see. I'm hoping to see the move pawn to f5 on the board, because after knight g3 my opponent will definitely push f4, and then knight e4 back looks just good enough. But after f5 knight g3 there is probably something like queen g5 there, f5, and yes, this is should be game over in a few moves. f5 followed by f4 gives me some chances of counterplay against this king, opening up this diagonal, opening up some files. So we'll see. f5, there is no queen g3 trick, there is nothing I'm threatening on g7 because my rook is not on g file yet, but we will make sure it will be there when necessary. I wouldn't be as confident, but okay. So this guy, I have never played him before. Okay, f5. I mean, you can even sack the rook for much better endgame, but then f5 suddenly opens up. Queen d3, so cold-blooded move actually. Insane. But I mean, queen g3 takes, king h1 takes. Should be game over. But I wanna play queen g3, but then he will sack the rook, right? Because if he doesn't sack the rook, then I'm probably okay. I mean, I wouldn't call it okay, but I have practical chances. I guess queen f2 is also a more patient move with an idea of here, but then how I am going to develop this rook. So queen f2, yes, probably the best move. If you take, I take and have some compensation for few pawns that I am down. So I don't think sacking a rook here is a very good option. After f6 I can play e5. If you take, there is simply checkmate in 2 moves. Perhaps that will happen on the board. I hope so, but probably won't. Something like f5 now. Oh, f5 now. Then this pawn is just hanging. That's too bad. But still, maybe knight f6 here. Some checks. Down the diagonals. f5, knight f6. There is no other move. If I play knight g3, simply queen takes on e3, I will be down a lot of material, but now I have some chances. Of course, I don't have any chances whatsoever. If king f7, then simply here, and I resign. And if something else, I mean here, what can I possibly do? Maybe here, and here, but this just takes too long. King f8 probably wins the game right away, but I guess I have queen h5, which can be tried with some ideas like this. King f7 definitely the best move. Although after king f7, excuse me, I will play queen to h4. If here and here, I'm threatening also here and here, which might be quite deadly actually. Of course, I'm completely lost if my opponent finds the correct moves, but there is still some chance of maybe him blundering this game. But yes, of course, we will analyze the game. I will show you all my thoughts, which weren't really correct during this game. But anyways, now my opponent will probably play king to h8, which after queen to h6 and rook f8 is probably just game over. King h8 is probably the best move. Perhaps king h1 there, rook g8 here. I'm not even threatening rook g1 because he simply takes. But yes, I mean, And then rook g1, pinning. Oh, so king f7 happens instead. Why would you go on an open file? Okay, here we need 3, king h1. If you go back, I mean just here and here, looks fine for me. I mean, I should be trying to win. Not trying to win, trying to at least, I mean, check him and maybe force some issues for him. Of course, he's still winning. Queen e3 check. Here, maybe on queen g5 there. Just easily winning after queen g7. Guess I have some counterplay here. And there is a lot of checks, but I mean, this king will be safe because these two pieces will be around him at very short time. Queen e3, king h1, also rook g8, and here and rook g7 should be just fine. I guess that's a very good move as well. I mean, there is a lot of correct moves, but probably some of them drawn again. For example, rook g8, king h1, probably yes. Oh, this is checkmate. Ha! LOL. I forgot about my rook. But anyways, this would be checkmate as well, so... Yes, rook g8 is something I missed. I forgot my rook is hanging. But my opponent suddenly spending quite some time. That means that he's probably not taking my rook. Come on, guy. If you take my rook, I will just resign. I mean, well, it's checkmate, so... Queen c2, wow. You're not even interested in checkmate in 1, which is wow. Queen h7, of course he's just mating me in few moves. Here, check. Where are you going to go? King e7 is probably the best move. I mean, you can even go king f8 here, but then we just repeat moves. I don't take the rook because I'm checkmated here. But that's my opponent down to 6 minutes, and king e7 is not the easiest move to find. And even after rook g1 here and here. Oh, there is rook g8 here, check, here, here. You play king e6. Wow, this is even better probably. If I can put this pawn anywhere else, I would be much happier. But I can't. Maybe I can play queen h3, but then rook g8. There is no check. So probably rook g1 has to be played. After king takes, he'll play rook g8 himself and probably will mate me. I mean, rook here is probably checkmate. I still... Oh, rook here, maybe I have check. Here, maybe I have then some checks, which should... I mean... Oh, you go here and... There is still no checkmate, right? I mean, rook g1 threatens mate, but I mean... Are you fast enough? I think if you play rook g1, there is a high chance of this game being a draw, or maybe perhaps even... No, a draw at most, so... But yes, you cannot leave your king wide open here. So king e7 was a better move, not allowing any checks on e8. So now here, here... Oh, this is just checkmate with rook g2. Oh, queen g1 is checkmate. Rook g2 now is mate. Rook g2 is checkmate. GG. Good job. But he missed checkmate in 1 after... Where was this? Let's analyze the game now. But yes, okay, I will show you all the variations. e4 and knight f6 was played. After e5 here, c4 here, and d4, excuse me. Now d6, and I take the pawn usually. There is also the move f4, which is, I mean, very aggressive. But after something like this, my opponent is just... I mean, I have the center, but he will attack me with c5, e6, and... I mean, if you don't know these positions, don't play them. So, he takes on d6, and then... This was just the resulting position. It is better for white. Now knight f3 was the best move, and after bishop g4, h3 was the best move. After bishop h5, and then something like b3 and rook c1, okay. But I simply castled knight to c6, a3 stopping knight b4, which wasn't really a good move, and now d5 happened. And the best move was to take the pawn, which is of course not so logical. Knight takes, queen takes, resulting in a queen in an isolated queen pawn position, which I don't really like. I played c5, which is equal after knight c4 only move. I took the knight, which was correct. And now h3 is only move. Bishop takes, queen takes. Wait, what? Knight takes. And queen f4. Oh, I pick up the c4 pawn, that's the idea. But okay. I simply played queen e2, which loses probably. Yes, bishop f6 was found, and he probably played very accurately. So now rook a to d1 was played. I will show you the accuracies later. And now simply knight takes on d4, brilliant move. I see the knight with 3 different pieces. I still cannot take it. If I take with my bishop, then simply rook takes bishop. If knight takes knight, then bishop takes here. And oh, that was simply the move queen takes on c4. What was happening after? Bishop takes, g takes, and knight takes, king g2. Oh, there is the move knight h4 check, which is probably very nice move. And now he gets away with this being a threat. So I played queen e1, which loses the game because of bishop takes on f3. I mean, the game was still a loss, but rook takes, and bishop takes, g takes. And if I were to here, if I were to take, then simply knight takes on f3, king g2 here. This is just lost. So rook takes d4, bishop takes, where was I? And g takes on f3, and now yes, I cannot even take the bishop because my rook is hanging. My queen is hanging here, so knight to a4, attacking the bishop. Bishop takes on e3. I cannot take with the queen because of f5. So I played f takes on f3. And now f5 was the best move. Or queen d3, which my opponent played queen d3 now. I played the move queen f2 and now f5. If I play here, then he simply trade queens and he's simply much better. So I sacked my knight. Which after g takes on f6, I played the move queen g3, king f7, and queen h4. Oh, queen h3 was better, defending in the g2. Okay, I guess. So rook g8, king h8, king h1, and here there was simply checkmate on the board. But okay, my opponent played queen c2, threatening checkmate, which is kind of weird. And now queen takes, rook g7, queen h5, and king e6 was kind of surprising enough. I played rook g1, king g1, and rook g8 is simply checkmate in few moves. After king f1, queen d1, king f2, here. This is simply checkmate. This pawn serves as a cover. So here, if after king f1 check and here, my opponent were to play something like rook g1, threatening checkmate, he's still winning. Wow. Here, king d6. Oh, he simply plays king. Oh, there is nothing. Check. He plays king c6. Here, king b5. Here, king a4 even. b3 is my only check. Oh, there is queen e8, but then simply b5 probably. Or c6. So b3. And there is simply nothing. So I would have lost this game either way. So let's check the accuracies. I probably played very badly. But okay, my opponent played very well. So, yes, my opponent played with 90% accuracy, I only played with 70, but okay, I lost today's game. And if you have anything to tell me, please write that down in the please write that in the comments below. I will be reading and answering all of your comments. And if you like the video, please consider subscribing, it would really help me out. And see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye!